All right, everybody, welcome to our team call. It's March 2nd. We are in the start of a brand new month with the launch of a brand new program. If you guys haven't already heard of it, which I'm sure you have, it is 22-minute hardcore. It is spelt like corpse, but you pronounce it core, just in case anyone didn't know that. I personally actually did not know that, so I thought it was a little funky. The name of it, I know it's terrible. Dan's shaking his head at me. But 22-minute hardcore, and this is a legit hardcore workout. I ordered mine. I don't know if you guys plan on doing it now, but it looks like it's going to be a ridiculously awesome program. It comes out this month. It's 22 minutes a day, 6 days a week. I believe Sundays are your day off. And there's also what they call a hell week at the end, which sounds awesome. I guess you like double up on the workouts every day. So I'm pretty excited about this, if you can't tell. For customers, if they get the challenge pack, they do get the sandbag included in that. It's an empty sandbag, so we will have to fill it ourselves, but just something really cool that challenge pack purchasers will get. For us coaches, because we can't get challenge packs, if you get the deluxe kit, you'll get the sandbag with a couple extra DVDs. So just to keep in mind, the sandbag only comes with the deluxe kit for coaches. So that being said, hi! She's so big. Oh my gosh. So that is something super exciting. Another thing is that spring comes this month in, I think, just a couple weeks, which is pretty exciting. So definitely a huge thing to use for, getting people excited and motivated to get their workouts in and to get focused on their goals, because if spring is around the corner, then summer is not too much farther away either. So definitely a huge thing that we can use to our advantage. Another thing that I saw someone post about would be I know a lot of the times we get money as an objection. This time of year is a good, usually when people are doing their taxes. So, not that you want to throw it in someone's face, well, you got your tax return. So, but you can, nicely suggest oh, well, I don't know if you filed your taxes yet. If this is something you really want to do, what are your thoughts on maybe using a little bit of your tax return to invest into yourself, invest into your health, all that stuff. So, just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I have not done my taxes yet, which is bad, but I need to get on that. What else did I want to announce today? I think that's pretty much everything as far as the new month that we have ahead of us. So today what I wanted to talk to you guys about is sharing your story. I went back through my notes and I saw the presentation that Danielle Natoni and Katie Urza did at Summit this past year about sharing your story. And I loved so much of what they said, because I feel like so many of us think that to have a story, you have to have this crazy transformation, physically, which, yeah, that's great if you have, transformation before and after photos and that show your physical transformation from these products. That's great to share, and I encourage you to do so. But not everybody has a huge physical transformation. And even if you do, sometimes the more important or the more pronounced transformation that you have ends up being mental. So, and that is something that has changed the most for me personally with joining this community of amazing people, is how much I've changed mentally. But even on top of that, you can share how you've grown financially. This, as you start to earn money with this, you can share that, not in throw it in your face oh, I just made enough money, not in obnoxious ways, but in ways to say I've been struggling, I've been living paycheck to paycheck for so long, and I decided to give this coaching thing a try, and now I have some extra money left over to do things that I enjoy, or to start saving, or whatever it is. We all have our own personal stories with these categories in our life, and I think it's so important for us to be sharing that, to show people what this opportunity is doing for us. Uh-oh, I think I froze. Can you hear me? Okay. I thought it was just froze for me. I don't know if it froze for you. Sorry. um, so anyway, side note about financial, if you do post anything publicly about financial success with the opportunity, there is a specific disclaimer that Beachbody now wants us all to use at the bottom of your post. I forget where it is. I'll try and look for it and find it and post it in our page, so that you guys just copy and paste it on your phone and have it, so you can just copy and paste and throw at the bottom of whatever financial posts you do share. I guess compliance is getting a little bit more picky about things like that, and we definitely don't want any slaps on the wrist. But yeah, so this opportunity can change us physically, mentally, financially, emotionally. Like, there's so much that you can get out of this opportunity, and that is what you want to be sharing. You want to be sharing your sweaty selfie, like stuff like that, but the thing that's going to touch people more and that's going to help them truly understand what this opportunity is about is when you share your personal struggles and how you've overcome them and what this opportunity has done to help you get there. Does that make sense? And this can be challenging. This is something that I need to start doing a lot more as well. I've been maybe like afraid to, or maybe I'm a perfectionist, which is just a curse. So I feel like I struggle with finding the right words, but I need to stop being like that. I need to just start sharing, and the words will come as I share. Like, same for everybody. It comes with action and practice, and you'll get better the more you actually do it. So I encourage you guys to start really thinking, how has this opportunity changed my life in more ways than just physically? Because I can almost guarantee you it's been more than just that. I hope it has been. And that's pretty much the goal of this opportunity. It's life-changing in so many ways. So a couple of things that they talked about was one quote that they said, and I didn't write down who it came from, but it said, "The worst story ever told is the one that wasn't told." So, you have a story, and it's different than everybody else's, and that is what makes you stand out. That's what makes you unique, and that's what's going to attract people who are similar to you. They're going to want to know more about you. If you start sharing stuff like that, they're going to start looking to see what you're posting about. They're going to intentionally go to your page, or when they see a post from you in their newsfeed, they're going to stop and they're going to read it, because they're going to be like, "Ooh, I wonder like what happened with her today," or like, "She was talking about something the other day that was going to happen today. Like, did she post about it?" Like, stuff like that. It gets people really intrigued and interested in who you are and how your life is changing. And then they might start to believe in themselves, like, "Oh, well, if she or if he has been having these struggles and like, look, he or she is starting to overcome them, like, maybe I can do that too." And then they're going to want to reach out to you, because you're the one who's showing that you've overcome those things and that you've gotten through it and that you figured out what it takes. And you are openly sharing it so that you can help others do the same. So people are really going to respond well to that. There's a couple questions that they gave to ask, like, because sometimes it can be challenging to really think of what your story is. So they recommended a couple of these questions to ask yourself. Have you ever struggled to fit in? Have you ever felt like you were meant for more? Have you ever looked in the mirror and you didn't like what you saw? Have you ever lived paycheck to paycheck? Certain things like that. And then I'm sure if you really sat and thought about how your life has changed since you started this, you could probably even come up with more questions, and then you can find the answers to them and share that. Share that with your social media. Share that, I don't know, if you're out with people and it comes up in conversation or something, that like a struggle that you had, you can be like, "Oh my gosh, I totally know what you mean. Like, I used to struggle with the same thing, but listen, like, this is what I've done, and it's totally changed my life, and, give people examples so that they can see it's possible to overcome these things. What else did they say? Sorry, I'm looking from my notes here because I don't want to mess anything up. And the other thing is, when you're sharing your story, or just when you're posting in general, try to almost make it sound like you're talking to someone. So like if I were to see your post, kind of word it to target like your specific audience, so that when they see that, they're like, oh my gosh, she's totally talking about me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can read that and you're like, whoa, I feel like she just read my mind. Like, that was totally how I feel. Like, there's definitely certain strategic ways to word your posts and stuff like that, so that you're almost targeting people without, saying that you're targeting them, I guess. But it's a great way to get people to, again, connect to what you're saying and think like, oh, that is totally how I feel right now, but like, look at where she's going. Like, maybe I can do that too. Does that make sense? Kind of figuring out ways to talk to people like that. And then as you begin to share these things, like, who cares if it's just one person that you end up touching? Like, that's still one person, and that's a big deal. And that's what we need to remember. Like, if you're afraid to talk about something or share something from your past, or share that you're struggling with something, just don't be afraid. Just share it, because you may influence one, if not more than one person, because you decided to share that. That is what makes the biggest impact for people. As coaches, we don't want to portray ourselves as being, fitness professionals, nutrition professionals. Like, we're not perfect in what we do. We don't, well, some people, I guess, probably do the programs exactly and follow the nutrition plans exactly, but I don't. I struggle with that. So I share that. I share with people, I don't like to cook. I just don't. And that makes it hard. Dan's shaking his head at me again. That makes it really hard for me to stick to the nutrition guides, but I need to get over that and find a way that helps me still stick to these nutrition guides. And the way that really helps me is Fixate. That book has given me so many wicked easy and delicious recipes that have the container equivalents already on there. So I really don't even have to think. I just have to make something. And that was huge for me. What else do I want to say? I really liked this one. I love how they said you must tell your mess as your message. So, like, again, struggles, like things that are going, like if your life is crazy right now and you feel like, you don't have time for things, but you're still making time for this, share that your life is crazy right now. And one of the hardest things to do is to fit your workouts in, or to fit the time in to make these healthy meals so that you're staying on track, but that you're doing it anyways, and you're figuring it out, and you have these accountability groups who are helping motivate you. Share the experience, however it is for you, because it's different for everybody. But I love, share your mess as your message. Like, sometimes our lives can be a mess, but we're getting through it, and you figure out, ways to stay positive. Like, personal development has shown me how to, stay positive when times are tough, how to, try not to get so aggravated and short-tempered for certain things. Like, when stuff isn't going right and you just get aggravated, like, just take deep breaths, and, maybe it was meant to be to happen this way. And, what you put out in the universe, you're going to get back. So, having a positive attitude is so important. And I feel like I've known that for most of my life, but I don't know, for some reason, like, this personal development that I've been doing for almost 2 years now, year and a half to 2 years, has really like opened my eyes even more to how important that is, no matter what's going on in your life. And that's something that I need to share more about myself. But sharing, not holding back on anything. I know a lot of a lot of things that we want to share are probably a little bit uncomfortable. You know, you don't want people to think, I don't know, it's hard to admit, I guess, some things that you're struggling with to even ourselves. Never mind, like, let's just throw it out there on social media for everybody to see. But that's how people will feel connected to you and will relate to you, and that's what they want to know, that they're not alone in these struggles. There's somebody else who has felt the way that they feel, and they've found ways to overcome that, or they're finding them. You know, maybe you're not there yet, but you can talk about how this is what I'm doing and I'm feeling stronger, or I'm feeling, you know, more mentally ready for this. Like, I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there, and this is how, type of stuff. Because that's the powerful stuff. That's what people are really going to love to hear from you. And they're going to want to be a part of that. Or maybe they don't yet, but they're going to start to follow you closer because they're going to relate to you. And then eventually, when they are ready, you're the person that they're going to reach out to. And that's what we want. What else? Of course, you know, no matter what you say, you don't want to be fake about it, or you don't want to like make stuff up just to make a story. So definitely make sure you're real and you're being authentic and you're genuine in what you say. Because, you know, you don't want to fake a story, because people are going to see through that. Oh, and another thing is, as you start to share more personal things and, you know, share your journey more and talk about your health and fitness or your business and stuff like that, you're going to have haters. It's inevitable. Not everybody is going to want to be a part of it. Not everyone's going to, you know, feel the vibes that you're sending out there. You're going to run into people who are going to maybe block you, unfriend you, who are going to tell you no, who might make rude comments, because unfortunately there are people that do that. Just brush it off. If you ever feel like something's getting out of hand, you can always reach out to me if you want to, or block them. Luckily, Facebook has that cool, or most social media avenues do, I think, where you can block people. So hopefully it won't ever come to that, but it is a possibility. So just be aware of it. People aren't going to necessarily agree with what you post and what you share, but this isn't about them. It's about you, and it's about who you are trying to influence. And the lives that you are trying to change. And that's what matters most. There are going to be people who don't agree with a lot of the things that we do, and it's kind of sad, because I feel like those are the people who are in that need what we have the most, because maybe they don't believe in themselves, and the only way that they can handle that is to kind of lash out or say we're crazy or whatever. So, you know, keep up with your posts and be inspiring and share your journey. And who knows, maybe these people will eventually turn around. Maybe they'll realize, like, okay, maybe this is legit. Like, I want to learn more, because it is. We're legit. Let's see. I think that's almost it. Oh, here's another thing. So you want to connect your story to Beachbody, but you don't want to portray yourself as Beachbody. So there has to be a disconnect. There has to be, like, you share your story and like lead into how Beachbody he came into your life and helped you, but don't make it out to like be all about Beachbody. Like, it's about you, and Beachbody helped you. And you don't even necessarily have to put that in every single post. You can just say my journey or whatever it is that you're talking about. But, you know, we don't want to be constantly only posting about Beachbody, because that will likely turn people away. However, we don't want to be afraid to post about it either, because this is a huge thing in our lives now, and this is, you know, an amazing opportunity. So, you know, we shouldn't be afraid to share it. Just make sure you're not oversharing it, and make sure you're not, you know, focusing too much on Beachbody. It's your journey that has come because of Beachbody, and, you know, share how that has affected you and how that's changed for you, but not necessarily, do you know what I mean? Like, your story is not Beachbody, your story is yours, and Beachbody just helped you get there, type of thing. So it's not like Beachbody everything. And when you have, so you may have you may have certain areas of your story that you already know. You may have other areas that you don't. But if you have like a lot to your story right now, share that in bits and pieces throughout the week. Every single week, you can reword it and share it again. Because when you think about Facebook, when you post something, it shows up in the newsfeed. And then as people are looking in the newsfeed, they may see it. If they like it or they comment on it, it'll kind of boost it up again. So it will have more visibility. But that's still a ton of people who didn't see that. So you want to keep resharing your story. And you even can use the same exact words and picture if you want to, or you can switch it up a little bit. But don't be afraid to repeat your story over and over. You know, share it in a different way, focus on something else, but still share that. Because again, not everyone's going to see that. So the more often you share it, plus, you know, you want to be adding more friends to your Facebook. You want to be friend requesting people every single day. So those people aren't going to go back and, you know, read all of your past posts. So make it a point to, I don't know, maybe like as you're starting out, like one day a week, have it be your story sharing day. If you want to do that, just to kind of be consistent with it, and share your story multiple times within the month, like every Sunday or something. Share how Beachbody changed your life in some way, and use the same stories from the past and reshare them, because new people are gonna see it every time you do. So that's definitely important to get more visibility. Oh yeah, so this is kind of what I said earlier. Find someone in your life who's your target audience, who you want to speak to, and talk in your post as if you're talking to them, so that they can, like, have you ever read something, whether it was like an email or someone else's post, and you just like feel like, oh, they're talking to me right now, or like, that is so my life right now. Like that type of feeling is what you want to invoke in other people, so that they're like, oh, that was a good one. Like I feel like I could reach out to them right now. You know, it kind of almost like adds a comfort level between you and whoever's reading it, because they start to get you and they start to learn about you a little bit more. So that's super important to try and do. And you just have to believe in yourself and believe that you have a story. You know, no matter how big or small your victories are, they're big. I personally think that everything that you do that is an improvement in your life is big and is worthy of sharing. Because the more people, we just want to influence people, and we want people's lives to change in the way ours are changing, because it feels amazing. But if we don't share that, then people aren't going to get it. They're not going to understand what this opportunity is really doing for you. And that's definitely one thing that I've lacked in my posting. I post a lot about, like, you know, getting my workouts in or sharing like recipes, but I need to be sharing more about how much of a difference I feel in my life, and how different I am, and how much has changed because of this opportunity. Because I feel like people know that I do my workouts. They know that I try to eat healthy, but I haven't portrayed well enough how much my life has changed because of this. And that's definitely something that I need to work on. So I needed this call myself. But I hope you guys got something out of this too. Let me just see in the comments. Yes, like what Lauren said, she feels like it's always the same people who respond to story posts, and it's the people who are closest to her. I don't know if I would say they would be getting annoyed by them if they're commenting and posting, and liking and stuff. I totally know what you mean, though. So one of the reasons why we want to be friending new people and like going to other people's pages and liking and commenting is because as you like and comment on someone else's page, as you Facebook message them more, your content on Facebook will show up in their newsfeed. So if the same people are liking and commenting on your stuff, your posts are going to show up more in their feed, which is probably why they're seeing it and commenting and liking so much, which is a good thing. But if we are, if you add a new friend to your Facebook and you go to their page and just like, not in a creepy way, but like if you go to their page and you see something that you like they posted a picture of a kitten or something, I would like that because I just got new kittens and I love them. So like go and like that. Or if it's, again, not being creepy or weird because you don't want to you don't want people to be afraid of you now that you just friend requested them and you're like attacking their page, be sly about it. And like or comment on things that you literally like or want to comment on, not just to do it. Or your friends' pages, like go on to your friends' pages even. Like if you have a friend that's close to you who hasn't jumped on board yet, you can like and comment all you want because they're your friend, but then you're going to show up in their feed more. It's kind of a tricky thing about Facebook is I feel like another thing, and not to say this in a bad way, but I feel like so many of our fellow coaches are all on top of posts and stuff like that, which is great because it boosts it almost and it gets seen more. But again, I feel like we're just kind of popping up in each other's news feeds without really spreading out too much. So definitely, and Facebook messaging people is kind of the same effect as liking or commenting. So if it's a friend of yours that you haven't talked to in a while, or someone from high school, or if it is a random friend request that you sent out, but you feel really connected to that person in some way, or you looked at their page and they went to this place that you've always wanted to go to, feel free to send them a message and be like, hey, what's up? I just friend requested you, but I noticed you just went to, I don't know, this island or whatever, and I've been dying to go there, but I haven't heard about it. What did you think? Is it worth it or something? Random. But if as you message people, you're A, forming with them, which is good, and B, you're going to now pop up in their newsfeed more. And hopefully they will then start to like things, start to comment on them, or at least just see more of you and get to know you more through your posts. I know, I actually agree with that. So Lauren in the chat said, I think we should work as a team to tag each other. Then it's us, then it's us patting someone else on the back. Yeah, I think I see a lot of people doing that, and I guess I honestly wasn't sure if anyone would want me to be tagging them and things, because if you have a post and then mine pops up, then yours is down underneath it. But I'm more than happy. I think that's a great idea because I think it gives visibility. It shows that we're a team versus an individual. So I'm totally down with that if everybody else is. We can maybe make a post in the group page and say if anyone wants to be tagged in certain group messages or whatever on my page, comment yes or let me know, and I'll start tagging you, here and there depending on what the post is about. If it makes sense to tag more people, I think that's a great idea because then especially for when we're sharing challenge groups and stuff, if more than if a couple coaches in our group are going to be participating or a part of that, I think it's a great idea to tag everybody so that it's almost not that you don't want to post about it yourself, but that's going to pop up on your newsfeed too. So it's kind of multiple ways of advertising. Not that I want to say advertising, but you know what I mean. Talking about the group and a lot of people seeing it. So that's a really good idea. I like that. Does anyone have any questions or anything else they want to add? We're good? Hang on. I wonder Dan, are you typing something? Okay, I figured. You looked very... Yeah, true. I should do that. Hang on. I'm sorry. Hello. All right, Dan, go ahead.
So I feel a lot of guilt when, somebody I work with wants to, say, switch coaches, and their coach is somebody else that I work with, who you met at Saturday a few weeks ago. and she friended you after that.
Oh.
But I feel guilty because this person saying to me, like yesterday, she said, I really don't enjoy all of the push that I'm getting from her. She goes, I know you're a coach, but you don't push this on anybody at the office. And so, well, it's not my job to push it, but I still feel that guilt that she wants to switch coaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have any guilt about the first one we talked about, even though, people say I want to do this and then they don't follow through and do the stuff online, which is killing me. But
wait, so people are they ordering through like Beachbody.com instead?
No. They say they're going to do it and they want to try it, and yet they don't make that effort, even though you've given them the opportunity, you've given them the tools to do that. Like one of the people at work, or somebody that I work with in a building, a friend of hers gave her 21-day fix to use. So kind of like, you know what, I want you to look at the other stuff, as well. So if you just go online,
Mm-hmm.
we can get you some of that additional time so you can look at this stuff for 30 days, but it's getting them to actually make the effort that has been so hard.
That can definitely be challenging. One thing I would suggest, so I feel like, and this is going to happen a lot, where you're talking to somebody and they're either going to end up buying the program off of eBay or Amazon, or they're going to buy it off of Beachbody.com, in which case they don't get connected to a coach, and then they have the program and then you didn't get the commission for it and you're not their coach. And it can be super frustrating. And I remember in the beginning, like getting angry and being like, come on, like, how do you not know? Like, I'm a coach. Like, why wouldn't you get this from me? But sometimes people just don't fully understand, or they, not to say that they don't care, but they're like, well, whatever, it's cheaper this way. Like, why does it matter? People have their reasons. So what I would say, whenever that happens, I would still offer them your support, because that is going to show them that you weren't kidding. Like you really are going to be there for them. You are going to help them make a change. Invite them to the challenge groups, and still be their coach. And then you can have them create a free account with you, just in case. So for the next time, like if they decide to get something else, if they log in, then you are their coach. So you will get the commission, or you will be notified when they do order something. But it's definitely challenging to kind of deal with that, because it can be very frustrating, and especially after you've spent all this time talking it up to them, like getting them motivated about it, and then they go ahead and get it somewhere else, or someone lets them borrow it. But I found that life is just easier when you let that go and you still do what we are meant to do as coaches, which is provide them support. Because that, I know, he's laughing at me, that is like the key. And then
I'm not laughing at you, Jens.
But then people are going to want, it almost like changes. Like I've had that happen before, and then people like want to go through you now after that, because they're like, okay, like I bought this program off Amazon or whatever, but if it wasn't for you, it would have been sitting on the ground collecting dust, or I wouldn't have tried as hard, or I wouldn't have tried the meal plan, or whatever it is. Like it definitely changes things for people. The support that we offer is huge, and and that's what makes us different than like a gym or other, I don't know, you know what I mean though. But as far as your friend who has a coach that you also work with, does that coach know that you're a coach, first of all, just out of curiosity?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, usually, I guess I've never been in a situation where I've asked someone if they either have a coach or have worked with them, and I've known that coach too. Because normally what I would do in that situation is I would say, if you're not feeling a connection with your coach, or if you're not, like if you're feeling like this is hindering your journey, or, like what you're trying to do, then switch over to me if you feel like I would be a better fit for you. But that's interesting that you, of course, work with that other coach. I don't know. That makes it a little bit That's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of,
hard.
it
Guilt,
does.
I have a guilty feeling. And the person who approached me yesterday said, I never hear you pushing on anybody. I don't feel like, and then she, led into questions, and I answered her questions, and we talked about programs, and she's like, I just get frustrated because I feel like it's buy this, do that, and you're not like that. You ask me how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, how's the workouts going.
See, that's good. That's what it should be like, and I feel bad that she's experiencing that from the other person. I mean, in the end, it's really up to her,
right,
what she does. I mean, you can't be like, no, you can't switch to me. Like, if she really wants to, she could go behind your back and do it, like, for all you know.
Yeah.
But one thing I would definitely take away from that is to keep being how you're being, because that is that's like a really good thing, that you're not being pushy, that you are asking how she's doing, that you are asking her questions and being interested in her journey. Like, that's really good coaching. So definitely. And she, like, her saying, like, I don't like this other coach because they're doing this, this, and this, and I like you because you're doing this, this, and this. Like, that's great. So, like, keep doing what you're doing. I think she gave you a really good compliment, and I think that's really good practice for us to have as coaches. But as far as having her switch to you, I mean, in the end, it's up to her if she wants to or not. Like, you're just doing what you are passionate about. You want to help her, and you're doing that. And if I don't know, I guess it just never happened where it's been someone that you
Be thankful.
Huh?
Be thankful.
I know. I know. Does anyone else have, like, what would you guys do? I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, you could still help her regardless.
And I will. That's, it was never a question for me. It's always been, how is she doing? It's not, I had no idea till the other day that Rebecca was even her coach, but I don't want to create any animosity.
Yeah.
But I want to encourage her. Like, she asked, well, do you have some challenge groups on Facebook? I said, we will have another one coming up. She goes,
and you can still invite her to these.
And that's what she wants now. As an easy in for us, she wants to come join us with some of the stuff. And she's asked me about technique and some of the program stuff. And so I just keep talking to her. That's all I can do. You know what I mean? So.
Well, that's good. I mean, I would just keep doing that. And I don't know, I guess if it comes down to the point where she's, like, begging you, or if you feel comfortable, I mean, it's whatever you want, it's whatever she wants. I mean, of course, you want the customer, but I don't know. I mean, that's I'm sorry. I feel like I'm struggling with that too.
I told her flat out, I said, I'm not going to ask you to switch to me because that wouldn't be fair.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You're taking this journey where I'm taking this journey where,
let's take the journey together regardless.
Similar lines that have crossed, and, another one of my nursing assistants. So all I can do is encourage her to be her and along her journey. And if she decides, then she decides.
Exactly.
I'm not going to encourage it. I'm not going to discourage it.
Yeah, I would take that route. And it sounds like, regardless, like, you're doing coaching really well. So that's something to be proud of.
Thanks.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions? Anything they want to add? So who's going to start sharing their story? Good.
You are.
All right. Well, so I think that's pretty much everything I had. Oh, sorry. One more thing. Oh my gosh. I totally missed almost the biggest thing. Don't compare yourself to others. I feel like so often we can look at other coaches who are either successful or who have had huge transformations or who share their stories like a freaking boss, and you're just like, ugh, like, I could never do that. Or like, my physical transformation isn't like hers. Like, nobody's going to look at me like they look at her, or whatever. that's false. You have your own journey. You are your own person. You're different for a reason. And the people who are meant to connect with you are going to, because of you, because of your story, and because of what you share. So don't ever compare yourself to anybody else. Everyone who is successful now once started down in the beginning. They didn't know what they were doing. They did what they had to do to get to that point, and that's exactly what we all need to do every day. Keep doing your best and keep practicing, keep taking action, keep sharing, and we will all grow and get better and better at it, and it's just going to show in how we share ourselves. So that was my last point. All right, we are officially done. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I hope that you got something out of this, and I look forward to our call next week. I don't know what day it'll be just yet, but I'll definitely post that. And I'm going to try and get better at posting these things a little bit sooner than I do. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a good rest of the night.